I recently did a short viewer survey where I asked you guys whether you listen to all of the records that you buy. Found the results pretty interesting. I want to talk about that in the second half of the video, but first I want to talk about the shocking data that inspired this question in the first place.
Channel 33, RPM, yeah, 33, RPM, Channel 33, RPM, yeah, final gear ever.
Hi, my name is Frank. Welcome back to Channel 33 RPM, your channel for vinyl gear and more. I find today's topic fascinating. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video, then weigh into the comments below because I would love to get your thoughts on all of this. So recently, this guy by the name of Rob Jonas gave a keynote presentation at the South by Southwest conference, and the name of his presentation was called Top Entertainment Trends for 2023. If you've never heard of Luminate, they provide entertainment data and analytics. And of course, South by Southwest is a music technology and film conference that takes place in Austin, Texas. So some of these Luminate stats, some of them weren't shocking. Some of them I kind of expected, but others is like, what the hell is going on? So let's run through some of these stats. According to Luminate, country fans are more likely to listen to the radio than fans of other genres. All right. Rock fans are more likely to listen to records. 31% of Gen Z wishes artists had more merch options. This last stat, though, this is the one that really caused me to pause. Check this out. Again, according to Luminate, 50% of consumers who have bought vinyl records in the past 12 months own a record player. Now, this also means that 50% of people who have bought records in the past year do not own a record player. That also potentially means that half of the records being sold are never listened to. I find that completely bananas, man. Like, I've heard for years that there are a percentage of people who buy records and never listen to them. And I've always heard it was like 30%, 1/3. But now, according to Luminate, it's half. It's 50%. So I kind of got to thinking, who are these people? Like, why would you buy a record and not listen to it? So my knee-jerk reaction was, this is terrible. This is horrible. This is probably people like flippers, right? People buying records and putting them up on eBay to make a profit off of them, particularly on record store day. It's speculators. There are people who buy particular titles and hold on to them for a period of time, thinking the value will go up, then sell them and turn a profit. But that can't be everything here, right? And I'm thinking, can this really be all that negative? And maybe there is kind of some positive to this. And I would hazard a guess that a large percentage of these people buying records, not listening to them, at least I would hope, are music fans looking for a way to support their favorite artists. Now, hear me out. You and me, we buy a lot of physical media, right? We buy records, CDs, whatever. But that is not typical of the average music fan nowadays. Most people have left physical media behind and are now streaming music. Even hardcore music fans are streaming music and looking for ways to support artists, right? You can buy t-shirts, you can buy posters, or you can buy physical products like records. So I truly believe a lot of these people are music fans looking for ways to support artists and buying their products being records, which is ultimately not a bad thing. It's good to support artists. It's just, I'm trying to get my mind around the fact that there are a large percentage of people who are viewing records not as a medium to listen to music, not as a medium to deliver music, but rather as a piece of merchandise. So I'm trying to get my head around that. The other thing is, if I was a record company and I knew that half the people buying my product were never actually using it, how dedicated would I be to ensuring that the product I produce is the best possible product I can produce? If I'm selling cars, this is a bad example, but if I'm selling cars and knowing half people who buy my car don't use it, do I care as much if it's a lemon? I don't know. So that's kind of in the back of my mind another concern. I mean, it's one more reason why record companies shouldn't be as concerned about quality control and scuffing and ensuring the best mastering, because people never listen to it. Who cares? But I'm going to try to keep this positive. Couple other interesting trends identified here by Luminate. Check this out. Rock is the #1 genre for Gen X and boomers. I get it. Hip hop is the #1 genre for millennials and Gen Z. I'm not surprised, but that's followed by rock. It kind of does surprise me. It's still good to see rock that high, even among the next generation, the younger generations. Other stats here. Latin music is the fastest growing genre in streaming services. And LGBTQ plus audiences are 25% more likely to listen to vinyl. So let's go to the poll I did. It was one simple question. I posed this last week. And again, my question's super simple. Do you listen to the records that you buy? And I was quite surprised because there are a few people who had a negative reaction to me even asking this question. For example, RMD Freelance wrote, unintelligent question. I don't think it was, but maybe he didn't have the context, because it does sound weird. People are buying records, not listening to them. Esther wrote, this question has no sense at all. I think it does, but again, maybe they're missing the context. Let's look back to those results. So, do you listen to the records you buy? Of the channel 33 RPM viewers who responded, 85% said yes. So, right, I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys, we all buy records to listen to them. Makes sense. 4% of respondents said they don't listen to the records they buy. 11% said usually, and 1% voted other. Myself, I only buy records to listen to. I don't buy records to make money, to flip, to sit on my shelf. I buy them because I dig the artwork, I dig the music, and I dig listening to records on that format. That said, I do have a very small handful of still sealed records on my shelves. I talked about this a few times. Probably 10 years ago, I bought a small collection of still sealed hard rock and metal records from the 80s. I had copies of them all, and I've just held on to them. I opened a few and they were warped, and that was just the result of being sealed for so long. It kind of damaged some of the records. Others were okay, but I kind of left them. I'm just holding on to those. So I get the collectability aspect of it. But yeah, I buy records to listen to, and that's really my only purpose. Let's dive into some of the comments you guys left below that particular question. Harry wrote, as a music lover, I think all vinyl should be listened to. However, as a collector, I respect those who wish to keep a rare LP in sealed mint condition. Makes sense. Particularly in a free society, we're all free to spend our money on legal goods and services as we choose, right? So whatever, who am I to judge someone? And that's kind of what Harry is getting at here as well. Neil wrote, that's a good question. I find that I will listen to a record as soon as I get it, but after that I tend to use my streamer. I guess it's just the convenience of streaming. I have to be in the right mood to spin a record. I kind of get that as well. I do stream music. I got a streamer over there. If I'm sitting here working on something, it's kind of disruptive to stand up every 20 minutes or so to flip a record over. So I definitely think streaming does have its place, and it can sound really good. David wrote, if I buy a record, I fully intend to listen to it, but occasionally if I buy a bunch at a thrift shop or rummage sale, it may take me a while to get to listening to all of them. Makes sense. I have an inbox. I often have an inbox of records I need to listen to. Sometimes you go through these things where you get a bunch of records at the same time. I'm happy to report my inbox is currently cleared, but it can definitely happen. Paul Brown wrote, I have to listen to them right away to make sure there are no skips, even the new ones. Yeah, I get it. There's no guarantee that new records are in near mint condition, so it's probably a good idea, and I should make sure I do that. Justin wrote, I do understand that people who buy albums from their favorite artists and don't play them, and that's just fine. It just shows they like to support their favorite artists, but me, I play all of them, no matter how rare. And Vince wrote, maybe not the same day I buy them, but they do get played. Me too, man. Me too. All right, 33ers, do you listen to all the records that you buy? Why or why not? What do you think of this data that shows up to half of new records bought are never listened to? I'd love to know. If you dug today's episode, I appreciate a quick thumbs up. Until next time, dear 33ers, keep on spinning.